Okay. Okay, here we go. So I'm so happy that you came tonight. We are adapting an in-person class that it was a tribute we did last year to Dr. King, and I'm doing my best to make it work on Zoom. I'd like to start by letting you know that in, I think it was 1959, Dr. King and his wife made a trip to India because he so believed in the teachings of Mohandas Gandhi, and he wanted to learn more. So he spent all that time understanding many of the Vedic scriptures, but also the principle of ahimsa. That was most important to him. Ahimsa means non-harming. And non-harming is exactly, of course, what Gandhi did in his way of bringing India back to the Indian population. When Dr. King came back, he took what he learned in his own teachings and brought them together. And he said, nonviolence is absolute commitment to the way of love. Love is not emotional bash. It is not empty sentimentalism. It is the active outpouring of one's whole being into the being of another. How beautiful is that? He said an individual has not started living until he can rise above his individual narrow concerns and focus on the concerns of the broader humanity, of all humanity. So let's keep those thoughts in mind as we come inside and focus on our breath. Close your eyes. As you breathe in love. As you exhale, breathe out peace. Take a deep, deep inhale, taking as much love as you can inside, allowing it to fill your whole body. And when you exhale, send peace out into the world. And continue with those thoughts in mind to deepen your inhale and slow down and lengthen your exhale. Return to your natural breath and open your eyes. We're going to start in child's pose. So if you like to have a blanket on your mat, set yourself up and come in to your favorite child's pose. A beautiful introspective pose, focusing on the love you just filled up with, Send your arms overhead, straight out in front of you. Look between your hands. Lift your hips, bring your shoulders over your wrists, lengthen your legs behind you. Opening up your heart, sending it between your arms. Inhale, exhale, send your hips back to your heels. We're going to come right back. Inhale, forward. Exhale, send your hips to your heels. Come up into a table, your wrists under your shoulders, your knees under your hips, your arms rotated outward. You're going to begin with some cats and dogs. So on an inhale, curl your spine towards the mat like the shape of the letter U. Exhale, arch your spine to the sky in a cat back. Inhale and exhale, arch to the sky. Continue at your own pace, getting your spine ready. Activating and warming up all the synovial fluids in between your vertebrae. Next time you're in your cat spine pause, bring your hips to your heel. And as you do that, just a little bit, you're not going to go all the way. You're going to slide your fingers to your knees and come up to stand on your knees. Okay. You're going to inhale, take all that energy that's around you. Exhale, bring it down to your heart. Inhale and exhale. And this time, as your arms come down, pause with them a little bit away from your body. Let your palms face away from you and open up your heart. Send your arms back just a bit to allow you to open your heart just a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, come all the way down into your child's pose. Slide your hands towards your knees, come back up, open your arms out to the side, opening up your heart. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hatred cannot drive out hatred. Only love can do that. Bring your arms all the way down to the mat. Send your hips to your heels. Slide your hands back to your knees. Come to stand up on your knees. Send your arms up overhead. Send your arms back behind you. Interlace your fingers. Send your knuckles to the earth. Open up your heart. I choose love. I cannot bear the burden of hatred. Inhale, exhale, send your hips back behind you. And as you come down towards the mat, bring the crown of your head to the mat. And you're going to roll over the back of your neck. Send your knuckles either straight back behind you or up to the sky. You're rolling over your neck to open up your cervical spine, your neck spine. Let your knuckles lead you back up. Bring your hands to the mat and come down onto your mat into a seated position. Okay. So let's come into a nice cross-legged position, that nice strong mountain spine in your seated position. Right hand alongside right hip. You're going to slide your right hand away. Left arm alongside left ear. Bend your right elbow. Lateral stretch. Bring both arms up to center and go immediately over to the other side. Bring both arms up to center. Bring your hands down alongside your hips. You're going to twist, bringing your left hand on your right knee, looking over your right shoulder. The past is a prophecy that loudly asserts that war is a poor chisel to carve out a peaceful future. Bring your arms up alongside your ears. Bring your hands down alongside your hips. Inhale, exhale, twist to the other side. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. It is necessary to love peace and sacrifice for it. Bring your arms up alongside your ears and twist back to center. Bring your arms down alongside your body. All right. You're going to step your feet as wide as your mat. Your hands are supporting you, fingers pointing forward, wrists under the shoulders. Inhale, and on an exhale, send your knees to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale, send your knees to the left. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, pause. Inhale, exhale, pause again. Put your right hand on your right hip, assuming your knees are pointed to the left. And you're going to rock your hip. So you're going to use your hand on your hip to push it forward, rocking your hip. Getting your hip flexors ready. Release that, bring your hand back down, bring your knees through center and over to the other side. Your hand now on your left hip and rock your left hip. Then come back to center. Bring the soles of your feet together. Bring your hands on your shins, and we're going to do cats and dogs now in this position. So we did them before on our hands and knees. We're going to do it seated. So inhale, bend your elbows, send your heart forward, opening it up. Exhale, curl your spine back behind you. Inhale, exhale. Inhale your heart forward. Exhale back. Keep going at your own pace. And then when you're in your next cat spine, pause. And then come up to sit. Bring your arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands down onto the mat forward of your feet. So your feet should be far enough away from your hips so that there's this lovely diamond shape with your legs. You're going to inhale, and on an exhale, you're going to bend your elbows. Maybe they hook outside your shins and fold all the way over your legs. This is variation 1 of Baddha Konasana, bound angle pose. Inhale, come up to sit. Inhale, your legs a little bit closer, your feet a little bit closer, right? Arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands down to the mat. Inhale, exhale, bend your elbows and fold. Maybe now with your feet a little bit closer to your hips, you can get your nose to your feet. I can't, but maybe you can. Use your elbows hooking over your shins. That will help you to come down a little bit farther. Inhale, unfold. Now you can do either one of the positions we just did, or you can go a little bit deeper with your Baddha Konasana by bringing your heels all the way in towards your hips, towards your seat. Bring your arms up overhead. Inhale, exhale, bring your hands to the mat, hook your elbows outside your shins, and fold over your legs, Baddha Konasana. Variation 3, this is the final one. Inhale, unfold. Send your legs out in front of you, shake them out. Rotate them. They should be nice and awake by now. Bring your hands just behind you a little bit. You want to have your wrists under your shoulders. And you're going to bring your feet to the mat, soles of your feet to the mat, and walk them away a little bit, right? So that you have a nice angle here with your legs. All right. So you're going to press into the mat with your feet. You're going to lift your hips and then bring them back down. You're going to lift them again, hold, and then bring them back down. You're going to lift your hips, send them towards your heels, bring your hips to the mat. Inhale, lift your hips, bring them back between your hands. This time you're going to lift your hips, send them forward, and then come all the way up to a reverse table. So you're in this lovely tabletop. You don't want your head to hang back. You want to have a straight plane from the crown of your head to your knees, a flat surface like a table. Inhale, exhale your hips all the way back down between your hands. We're going to do that one more time. Inhale your hips forward. Exhale, come into your tabletop. Bring your hips back down between your hands. Come up to sit, shake out your wrists, shake them out. All right, good. Come back onto your hands and knees just for one pose here. one thing, because we're going to do a warrior three later, and we want to pattern it on the ground. So send your right leg back behind you once you come to your table. Take your time. Okay, good. Then you're going to lift your right leg nice and straight, and make sure your hips are even, and send your right arm alongside your right ear. So this is a knee down warrior three. Use your abdominal muscles to keep you from sagging to the ground. When you're standing, that's what you'll want to do in your warrior three. You want your big toe pointing to the mat, keeping your hips square. Bring your hand down, bring your knee down. Send your left leg out behind you. Lift it up hip high. Make sure your hips are square. Send your right arm alongside your right ear. Again, use your core to help keep you balanced, to keep you up. Feel your fingers moving in one direction, your foot behind you as if it was stepping on the wall behind you. Like a warrior three, charging into battle. Bring your hand to the mat, bring your knee to the mat. Take a couple of breaths in child's pose. And we're going to meet standing up. Right. And you're going to start in your, in your mountain pose. So come to mountain. Crown of your head reaching up to the heavens, feet rooted in the earth. Feel your mountain, feel it. And breathe. Inhale, send your arms out and up. Exhale, fold over your legs. Inhale, halfway up, flat back. Exhale, fold, bend your knees, fly out and up and down the center line. Half sun salutation once more. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, fly out and up and down the center line. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway, exhale, fold. Right leg goes back behind you. Flatten it on the mat. Bring your arms alongside your hips. Flatten your spine. On an inhale, you're going to raise your warrior up from the earth. Warrior one. Make sure your legs are in their own lane, that you're not crossing one behind the other, so that your hips can stay as square as possible to the front edge of your mat. I have a dream that my children will be judged not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Send your arms back behind you, interlace your fingers, send your knuckles to the earth. Inhale, exhale, come forward, humble warrior. Inhale, exhale, come in a little deeper if you wish. It's an option. for a humble and very devotional warrior. Press your feet into the mat, lift your knuckles, come back up to stand. Straighten your front leg, send your knuckles back behind you, pointing towards the mat. Open up your heart, look up for stargazer. It is only in the darkness that we can see the stars. Release your arms. Step into warrior two. Make sure your left foot is forward of your left knee or directly under, ankle is directly under it. Take a step in faith. You don't have to see the whole staircase, just take a step. Bring your right hand to your right thigh, peaceful warrior, palm facing outward for a sign of peace and surrender. Surrender to just let go, to let right win. Bring your forearm to your thigh, your right arm alongside your right ear. Back to warrior two. Step, take that one step, getting ready for warrior three. So we're in warrior one. From warrior one, we want to spring off your back leg. Spring off your back leg. Come forward any amount. This may be as far as you go, or you may come all the way to your warrior three. Bring your hands to the mat. Step your foot forward, Uttanasana. Forward fold. Fly out and up and down the center line. Okay, let's do the other side. Inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale halfway to a flat back, exhale, fold. Left leg goes back, warrior one, feet. Send your arms streaming alongside your hips. Inhale, warrior one, up from the earth. Bring your arms back behind you, interlace your fingers, open up your heart. Inhale, exhale, halfway. Stay here or on another inhale, exhale, come all the way down inside your right leg. Put your feet into the mat, come up to your warrior. Straighten your right leg, stargazer, look up at that dark sky, see the stars. Step in to warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, a more contemplative warrior, your left arm alongside your left ear. See that long straight line from your fingertips to your foot. Back to warrior two. Swivel or step into warrior one. Take a small step as you spring off your back leg to come to any variation of warrior three. Step your feet together. fold over. Uttanasana. Fly out and up and down the center line. All right, excellent. Take a breath. All right. Come to the front of your mat. Take a deep breath. Then inhale, exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, exhale, fold. Step your right leg back, step your left leg back, downward facing dog. Make sure you have your alignment with your chest coming towards your thighs, your heels moving towards the mat, your hands pushing the mat away energetically. And then once you have that alignment, bend one knee and straighten it, bend the other knee and then straighten it, and going back and forth, walking your dog. You're going to come back to a down dog. You're going to come forward, shoulders over wrists for a plank pose. Now you're going to get your feet ready for a side plank. And what that means is that you could separate them a little, swivel your feet so both your feet are on the mat for a side plank. Bring your hand back down to the mat. And we're going to do that side plank in the other direction, so that you can see another alternative for side plank. Feet are together. Stack your feet for a side plank. If you want, or you can do it the other way. Bring your hands down to the mat, downward facing dog. Send your right leg up to the sky. Bend your knee, open up your hip by sending your knee to the ceiling, your right foot towards your left buttock. Then square your pelvis with the mat. Send your right knee behind and outside your right wrist for pigeon. Remember, in your pigeon, it's good to put some padding underneath your hip if you can't bring your hips all the way down to the mat, so you keep your spine nice and straight. Stay up for a moment on straight arms. If I cannot do great things, I can do small things in a great way. Bring your forearms down to the mat. Bring your chest down to the mat. You can make pillows with your hands to come into a reclining pigeon, or your arms can be straight out overhead. Whatever your pigeon likes to do. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. You can stay right here for a moment, or if you wish, you can bend your left foot and come to a king pigeon. Your arm, right arm bent, finger, thumb and forefinger touching. And bring your hands back down to the mat. Straighten your leg. Turn under your toes, lift your knee away from the mat. Send your right leg back behind you in a three-legged dog. Or just come directly back to down dog. And if you haven't already, bring your right foot down. Step your right foot forward. 1, 2, or 3 steps. Step your left foot forward, Uttanasana. Fly out and up and down the center line. Take a breath. Inhale, exhale. Inhale halfway, exhale fold. Send your left leg back, send your right leg back, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. We're going to do our side plank starting on the left side first. So you're going to swivel your feet and open up to the side. Bring your hand down to the mat, downward facing dog. Come forward to plank. Swivel your feet, side plank. Bring your hand down, downward facing dog. Left leg goes up to the sky, straight up. Right heel comes down towards the mat. Bend your left knee, left foot to right buttock. Open up your hip. Square your pelvis with the mat. Send your left knee behind your left wrist and a little bit outside of it for a pigeon. Slide your right leg back behind you. And come down to your reclining pigeon. Look up, slide your hands under your shoulders. Stay right here, or if you wish, bend your right knee, take your right foot. You can flourish with your left hand or not. Release your foot. Turn under your toes, lift your knee away from the mat. Left leg goes all the way up to the sky for a 3-limb dog. Bring your feet down to the mat. Step your left foot forward. Left should go first. Then right, Uttanasana. Fly out and up and down the center line. All right, excellent. Bring your chin to your chest. Bend your knees, hinge from your hips to make your way all the way down to the mat. Come all the way down. And when you get there, send your legs straight out in front of you. Right. You're in Dandasana. Elbows pointing behind you, fingers pointing forward, toes to the ceiling, leg muscles engaged, belly coming towards your spine. Crown of your head reaching upward. Push into the mat a little bit to get a little taller. Send your right arm straight up alongside your right ear. Inhale, exhale, reach for your left toes or ankle. Send your left arm behind you, turn to look for your hand. Inhale your left hand up overhead, follow it as it comes down, as it crosses your right wrist to take your opposite foot, fold over. Release your right arm, send your hand back behind you, look over your right shoulder to find your hand. Send your fingers pointing up to the sky, follow it, follow them, and bring them down, crossing your left wrist. Release your arms, let them fall alongside your legs. Paschimottanasana, the Western stretch. The back of your body is the West. Look up at your feet, bring your arms alongside your ears and hinge all the way back up. And bring your arms back down by your side. Send your arms straight out in front of you. And then slowly, very, very slowly, make your way down to the mat. Make it slow. Make it slow. Let your abs do the work when your back comes close to the mat. When you get to be about 2 inches from the mat, just hold it for a breath or two. See if you can hold it. And then slowly, slowly come down. And when you get all the way down, bring the soles of your feet to the mat. Send your arms out to the side, like the letter T. Bring your knees into your chest. Inhale, exhale your knees toward your left elbow, or whichever side you're on, it doesn't matter. If you went to the right, that's fine. Place your left hand, if you're on the left side, on top of your right knee, just as some weight to bring your knee a little closer to the earth. Release your arm, bring your knees back into your chest as close as they can come. And then send them to the opposite side, reaching for your elbow. Bring your knees back into your chest, hug them, and roll from side to side. Take hold of your right knee with your fingers interlaced. Send your left leg straight out along the mat, but above the mat, not touching the mat, hovering Let it hover. And push your foot away like you were standing on the wall opposite it. Inhale, and then exhale, bring your left leg in. Switch your hands to your left knee. Send your right leg straight out, hovering over the mat, wanting to step on the wall opposite it. Toes to the sky. And you're going to continue to do this, going from side to side. You'll exhale when your knee comes in. Inhale when the other one goes away. And continue at your own pace. Next time both knees are into your chest, pause. Bring your feet to the mat. Forgiveness, says Dr. King, is at the core of our being. You cannot truly love unless you're able to forgive. Bring your arms, one hand to one shoulder, one to the other, like you're hugging yourself, because we also need to learn to forgive ourselves. And roll your shoulders from side to side, keeping your feet firmly on the mat. Come to center. Release your arms. Send them straight out from your shoulders, the letter T. Leave your knees where they are, pointing to the sky. Send them to the left. Reaching for the floor, send your gaze to the right over your right fingers. Inhale, bring your knees through center and over to the other side, your gaze to the other side. Bring your knees to center, your arms alongside your body. You're going to cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Your right foot stays flexed. You're going to bring your left leg into your chest, taking your right leg for a ride. You're going to put your right hand in between your two legs and wrap it around your left thigh. You're going to take your left hand, interlace your fingers, and bring your leg a little closer to your chest. Keep that right foot flexed. Use your elbow to send your right knee away from you. Your pigeon leg. You can recognize your pigeon here. Send your left leg up to the sky. Rotate your foot in both directions. And then point and flex, point and flex, point and flex. Bend your left knee, uncross your legs, bring your feet to the mat. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Your left foot is flexed. Bring your right leg into your chest. Take the back of your thigh with your hands, with your interlaced fingers. Push your left knee away. Send your right leg to the ceiling. And do that little thing with your foot to wake up your ankle. And point and flex, point and flex. And then release it, untangle. Right. You're going to open your knees out to the side, let the soles of your feet come together. Bring your arms in a cactus shape. Inhale, and then exhale, fold your right leg over your left and your right arm over your left, like you were closing a book. Inhale to center. Exhale to the other side. And keep this going. A few more times. Make sure your number of times are even on each side. And finish your next round and come back to your little resting goddess. Release your arms, bring your feet to the mat. If you have a block, I had one around here someplace, there it is. If you have a block or a blanket, push your feet into the mat, slide your blanket or block underneath your hips, below your waist. Send your legs straight up to the sky. Relax your arms. You can send them out to the side. You can send them overhead. You can send them alongside your body. Just relax them. Whatever feels good. Enjoy this inversion. Know that it helps to improve blood flow and slows your heart down just a little bit. Good thing to do before you go to bed. And when you're ready, bend your knees, bring your feet to the mat, lift your hips. You can stay a little bit longer there if you like, or come right into Shavasana. Sending one leg out and then the other, letting them comfortably splay open. Rotating your arms so that your Palms are facing upward. Deepen your breath. Roll your head from side to side. Make gentle movements with your hands and your feet. Send your arms overhead, your feet away from you. Deep, full body stretch. And bring your knees into your chest, hug them, and roll from side to side for a final massage of your back. Then come to stillness, release your legs, and roll over onto your right side, exposing your moon side, your left side, to prepare you for the evening ahead. And make your way up to sit. Take your time. Bring your hands to your heart. Om Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudev Namo Gurudeva. Om Namo means I honor or I bow. Gurudev or Gurudeva is guru, you know, the word guru is a teacher. Dev or Deva is a spiritual teacher. So I think that chant is extremely appropriate for this day in honor of Dr. King. Someone once asked him, well, how could you be kind to a racist? And he said, because we are all the same inside. He just doesn't know it. I love that. I hope you will take that with you. And the next time you meet someone who is filled with hatred, think about that. He just doesn't know it. Thank you so much for being with me. Namaste.